I'm making this video for the replacement of the ignition coil for a B1 allis-chalmers Model 19 Briggs and Stratton. Enjoy. Hey gang, John here. What we're going to do today is I want to change the magneto in this tractor. It's called the Magnomatic. This is going to be the replacement. The old one is inside. A lot of these motors, this is a Model 19 cast iron, goes on the allis-chalmers B1. Lost its spark. These coils, after so long, they seem to get weak. Now there's two different ways you can get the spark back in the tractor. One is either tearing it down and putting this magneto in, or we can go with a external coil, which we'll cover that at another time. But right now I'm going to take you through the steps of replacing the magneto. Okay, so I've laid the motor down so you can see what I'm doing, how we're going to go about disassembling this. This is the flexible clutch that goes to the drive shaft on the tractor. So what I want to do is remove this first. And once we get that off, we have the flywheel, or not the flywheel, but the drive belt. This is where the starter generator belt hooks to it and starts it. So we need to take these bolts out. One thing about these old motors is that they don't want to come apart very good. So I use arrow coil. It's probably some of the best penetrating stuff I've ever had. These old motors, you don't want to be in a hurry to jerk it off there and break the pulley. So what I like to do is let that soak. And while that's soaking, we'll go ahead and put a puller on there. Okay. This isn't a very expensive puller. You can get them from Northern Tool or one of the vendors. Okay. And so that's pretty loose. I've had this off before. Okay. Alright, once we get past that, we need to take this nut off and these retainers. This is what keeps this nut from spinning off. Okay, so we need to remove this nut. Best way I've found, 1 1/4 inch socket. And comes right off. That's the easy part. Okay. I'll go with some more coil. This is a beveled shaft underneath here. So what I like to do is let that sit and soak and get that off. I'm going to take this tin off so that we can access. There's like 6 or 7 bolts that hold that on. So you take that off. Okay, I've fabricated a puller, which is just a piece of square tubular steel. I just cut a hole in the center of it, tacked a bolt on the bottom of it, and then drilled my spacing for the same as what's in the flywheel. So let's see if this thing to fit. Okay. I'm using grade 8 bolts. And with the center bolt, I had to add some extra threads to it to get it as long as I wanted. But this is essentially what Briggs and Stratton, their puller, is very similar to this. Okay. I'll shoot it with the air coil again. Let that work its way down in there. Put a socket on there. Ooh, there she goes. Simple as that. Okay. Lift that off. Okay. Now we're down to our magnetic coil. You got the coil, and this is actually your magnet. It's on the shaft already. Where today they use a different method, but this is one that they used for this model. Alright, now we need to take this off, and you can take a look, Ben. Right here on the sides there's two clips that hold it on. All you have to do is just reach in there and pop this one out. Okay. And this just lifts off here. You should have a retaining clip that's going to sit in here and keep it from moving around. Okay. So I've already cut the end of this spark plug wire off. And now I need to remove this from the housing. One thing you need to keep in mind is that we need to make sure that our points, that before you tear it apart, that you need to make sure they're gapped and it's working at the right, you've got the right gap in them. Because when we put this back on, we're going to have to time it, so to speak, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. First thing we want to do is take this off. It's just 3 bolts that hold it on there. Okay, and this is just going to lift off. Okay. As you can see, I've already cut the wire. This is the wire that's going to go through this metal sheathed wire. Comes through here, comes down to your points. So it's going to land right here on the points with your condenser. Condenser wire and this wire are going to go together here. And this is also where we'll be putting the wire for the switch. Okay, so what I need to do is take this apart, take the screw out of it. Okay, alright, you can see the number on that. That's the old number, the old reference number. Okay. While I have this out, we might as well clean it up a little bit. Getting the coil down in there. Clean it up. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this video. We will have 2 more parts coming up. We've got timing, and we're going to start it up. Hope to see you on the next video.